Welcome everyone back to yet another Touchdowns to Home Runs interview, and today we have a very, very special guest. Not only my partner Bernie is on the other line, but we also have future NFL star cornerback Izzy Mukuamu. Now, if you know I'm a huge Gamecocks fan, and I know we got a ton on this channel, we have a Gamecock on this channel right now. It is so exciting. We have 6'4", 205-pound cornerback, second all-team SEC in 2019, Izzy Mukuamu on the other line. Izzy, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing? Thank you for having me.
We are doing great. We are so happy to have you here. We're just going to go through a couple of questions, talk about your football journey, talking about how you did at South Carolina, talking about your time in high school football, and then what you're preparing for to go to the NFL. So starting off with the first question, you played high school football at South Carolina and in Louisiana. Tell us how the talent that you saw in those two states led to you having such a successful career in college football.
Playing football in the state of South Carolina, it's a lot of talent down here. A lot of guys, they don't really get seen a lot, but it's definitely a lot of talent in the state of South Carolina. And as people know, Louisiana is one of the great states to play in America. So it definitely shaped me to play in the SEC, and I'm glad I was able to play for those two states.
So you play in such a prestigious place for your high school football career. Then you move to one of the prestigious conferences in college football when we talk about the SEC. What was one of your favorite things about playing in the SEC over your career?
My favorite thing about playing the SEC was just the talent that you play against every week. It's a lot of talent out there, and every week you got to come play. You got to come to play versus Georgia, versus Florida, Alabama, LSU, teams of that nature. So it was just fun going out there and competing against the best in the country.
Okay, so something I have to ask about personally, because I'm such a big Gamecocks fan. One of the best games in the last decade was the Georgia game, and you had a massive impact on that game. And when I say massive, I mean massive. You came home with a Walter Camp National Player of the Week. That game, 3 interceptions, one of them you took back to the house for a pick 6 against Jake Fromm. I have to ask, was it just you going forward? Was it just when you finally got on the field, you started to click, you started to read the ball out of Fromm's hands well? Or was it you just woke up that morning and just felt dangerous, just felt like, I'm going to wake up this morning and I'm going to have 3 interceptions in this game and we're going to come out of Georgia with a win?
The crazy thing is I actually woke up that day sick. But throughout the week, we was looking at Georgia, and we knew if we got them to throw the ball more and we stopped the run, then we was going to come out there with a win. But right before I got my pick 6, my teammate, actually, Jamel Cook, he was like, I feel like you're going to get one. And I got one, and then I just kept getting more. So it was a crazy day that day for sure.
Yeah, that game definitely meant a lot to me, and it was an amazing game to watch. It meant a lot to the people of South Carolina, because for us to finally beat Georgia, especially go on the road in a game where we were 24-point underdogs, and you have a monster game, it was just a really feel-good game, and such an amazing way to end the game.
Yeah, it's crazy that you woke up in that game sick. That's absolutely crazy. And obviously a fantastic performance. But really the entire secondary during your time playing at South Carolina, extremely, extremely talented. We also look at another guy who's going to be getting drafted this year, also one of your best friends in Jaycee Horn. I mean, what's it like playing alongside not only talent like that, but playing alongside one of your friends like that? And what does that do to sort of push you to just become better?
And it's just a blessing to see that we both accomplishing goals, just making the most of it.
Awesome. So something I also have to ask, because I'm a big Gamecocks fan, coming in to this season upcoming that just happened, you had tons of picks this season. Like, you had one against Charleston Southern in 2019. You had 3 against Georgia. You had one against Florida this season. You also had one against LSU. But going into that Auburn game, which you actually weren't playing in, you were on the sidelines, JC finally got his opportunity to get a pick. And as soon as he got his first pick against Bo Nix and the Auburn Tigers, you were one of the first ones out there to go out and congratulate him. Tell us about what that meant to you, to see a guy that you've worked beside for so long get in and finally get his opportunity when you've had so many yourself, put the same effort in. How did that feel when you finally saw JC get his first pick for the Gamecocks?
I think I was more happy about his picks than mine, because I've seen how hard he worked, and he wasn't getting the love that he needed from like the media because there was like he doesn't have any picks in his college career. But I mean, if you go and watch the film, like people say they do, that you'll see that he was doing his job, but he just wasn't getting the ball. But seeing him get 2 interceptions in that one game, I mean, it was a blessing. And I knew it was coming because that week I told him I feel like he's going to get one, and he got 2 of them.
You know, shifting focus, because obviously it's a big year for you going into the NFL draft, but obviously it's been a weird year as well because you had to deal with COVID. Has the whole pandemic situation sort of shifted your routine a bit in the way that you've been practicing or training for the draft?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because with this COVID, well, everything is actually new because usually even training for the combine, the coaches and the trainers, they usually know what the plan is for this time of period. But with COVID and everything messing everything up, everybody doesn't really know whether we're going to have a combine and things of that nature.
So looking ahead to this NFL draft, did COVID have any effect on your decision to actually enter into the draft, to enter your name, just with the uncertainty going on with the college football season before and everything? You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how the whole college football routine is going to be next year. Did COVID play a factor into you entering your name into the NFL draft prospect talk? So did that COVID have any effect on you entering the NFL draft?
No, it didn't really have no effect. I felt like it was time for me to declare and move on because I felt like I had a pretty decent career at South Carolina, so it didn't have any effect on me.
So now that your college career, I guess, is wrapped up and you've played all the games that you're going to play in the SEC, who would you say is like your toughest receiver, your toughest matchup that you played against?
A couple. You got Jerry Jeudy from Alabama, Devontae Smith from Alabama, Justin Ross and T. Higgins from Clemson, and I think that's pretty much it that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, of course. Just won the Heisman. Devontae Smith literally just won the Heisman. Jerry Jeudy's tearing it up in the NFL. And then you got T. Higgins on the Bengals. Ross is coming back for next season. And then even in practice, just something that I'm going to throw in. What about receivers in practice? Because you had some of the best receivers on that South Carolina team. Brian Edwards literally catches everything. You got Shi Smith. I'm pretty sure Debo was around for your first year, so you would have been matched up against Debo. What about, how did the players that you went up against in practice help you overall improve as a player for going on against other teams?
Oh yeah, they like you said, Brian, Debo, and Shy. Debo is very quick off the line. Brian, I mean, he can do it all. He's big, he's strong, and he's physical. And then Shy, he's a speedster. So they definitely prepare me to go against bigger receivers, quicker receivers, and creative receivers. So that definitely helped me.
I just had a question to add on top of that. Like, what's the intensity like in practice? Like, do you guys really go at it, or is it more like a fun type of environment?
Oh, no, we go at it every day.
All gas, no brakes, all gas, no brakes. I know that's a huge motto for the Gamecocks, something that you guys live by every single day. Tell me one guy who you really modeled your game after growing up in the NFL, could even be a college player, even someone in high school, whoever that was there someone that you really looked up to and modeled your game after?
I mean, I as a DB, try to take a piece of my game from a lot of different DBs just because I'm a taller DB. I like looking at Jalen Ramsey, Richard Sherman. I like Stephon Gilmore a lot, J.C. Jackson. So just I watch a lot of film, so just a couple of those guys that kind of play the same technique that I do, and I like modeling my game after them.
You know, you played some obviously big games in the SEC over your South Carolina career. You're going to be moving on to the NFL. What's one thing when you get to the league that you're just most looking forward to? It could be against a player, maybe a stadium that you're looking forward to playing in.
Probably just the competition level. Just getting to go against the guys I've been watching since I was little, like Tom Brady, Julio Jones, Drew Brees, just playing against the superstars of the NFL.
Okay, so now we got to talk about it. You're wearing the shirt right now. You have just launched your brand new merch line. And what I think, as a graphic designer myself, someone who loves to design things, that logo that you have, I think, is absolutely brilliant. Not only do you have the I am in there, but you also have the WIT, which stands for whatever it takes. Izzy, explain to us how that motto that you live by, that's on your shirt, that's on all your new brand wear, how do you live that by that motto, and how is that motto changed how you play the game?
It's always been my motto in life in general, just because I played football. But the way I came up with it was in high school. If you follow my high school recruiting, I was playing at South Carolina, the state of South Carolina, and going into my junior year, I had 4 offers, and then me and my family, we relocated to Louisiana, and that's when a lot of schools stopped recruiting me for whatever the case may be, as far as me relocating or whatever. But I remember myself going into my senior year, that spring of my junior year, I was just on Twitter, atting coaches, liking their posts, retweeting, quoting their posts, to get them to get their attention to look at my profile and my highlights. And some coaches, it got to a point where I put the notification thing on Twitter. So every time they got on Twitter, it notified me. So every time they got on Twitter, I was DMing them and stuff just so they can see my highlights and stuff. And I just did whatever it took to get those offers and to get those coaches to look at me. And now here we are today.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. Whatever it takes. If you hadn't done that, if you hadn't lived by that motto, you wouldn't have got to this point that you're at right now, about to be drafted in the NFL, about to prepare for the combine, and hopefully move on to go down as one of the all-great cornerbacks to ever play in NFL football, and definitely one of the greatest South Carolina cornerbacks that we've ever seen. Guys, I'm going to link below the website to Izzy's merch. I'm definitely going to go pick something up. The designs, I've looked at them already. They're absolutely outstanding. You guys should definitely go check them out. I'm also going to link below Izzy's socials and everything. Go hit him up on Instagram. Go hit him up on Twitter. Go follow him, because I'm telling you, if you want to follow some of the and get to know some of the best NFL prospects in the game, I'm telling you, Izzy Mukuamu right now is the guy you need to follow. So Izzy, that's going to be all for our interview today. Thank you so much for joining us here. We really, really appreciate it. Any closing remarks before we let you go?
No, that's it. Just like you said, go to Izzy Mukuamu and get your merch, definitely. And thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Izzy. We appreciate it. And that's going to be all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Like down below, subscribe, comment anything about Izzy or the Gamecocks or anything college football related. And thank you for watching, and come back next time.